good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Scotty. How are you?
I'm dandy. That is Elizabeth Del Grosso. My name is Scotty Cox. Together, we are Liz and Scotty in the morning on today's Best Country, Clear 99. Thanks for digging around and finding our little podcast here, Liz and Scotty's Poddy. Crazy week. We started off the week in Las Vegas at the Academy of Country Music Awards. And thank you so much. We were actually there to pick up a trophy. We won the Small Market Personality of the Year award, thanks to you and all of the cool stuff that you do to make us look good. So we appreciate it. And we never did really recap the show that much. We did a little bit one day. But it was fun, good time. It was a lot different than the CMA Awards, isn't it?
Yeah, like you said, it had much more of a concert feel to it.
Yeah.
There was lots of stages, lots of people just mingling throughout. So it was a very interesting perspective having gone to the CMAs in November.
Yeah, it's a little more, traditionally, it's a little more laid back than the CMAs. But it was fun. It was cool. Have you watched the show on TV yet?
I haven't, no.
I watched a few minutes just to kind of see what it was looking like. I need to finish that this weekend, too. But it was really cool. So if you missed some of the pictures, I know we shared some of them on Instagram and Facebook and some stuff if you wanted to see those. But that was how the week began. And then we ended up with a snow day, which was kind of interesting. In between, we had a discussion about accents, which is one of those things that we thought, oh, this is kind of interesting. And then the phone just did not stop ringing all morning.
And we had fantastic phone calls. Everybody from Alabama to Kentucky to Tennessee, anywhere you can think there's an accent from, we heard about it.
Yeah, and it kind of got started because we saw there's a study going on. It says if you ever caught yourself unintentionally imitating how someone speaks after listening to them for a while, you've taken part in a well-known phenomenon that linguists call linguistic convergence. And we got to thinking, it's happened before. You have a friend that goes to college in the South or something, and they come back Christmas break the first year, and they sound like a Southerner. You're like, what happened to you? And so that was kind of where there was also just on our trip this weekend, a coworker's wife who used to live in Cape Girardeau for a few years when he had a job down there. And she made the comment to me when we were on the trip. She was like, it's so good hearing a Cape Girardeau accent again. And that was just strange to me because I grew up talking this way.
Right. And you don't hear it.
Exactly. So there just seemed to be some interesting things there, and there really, really was. Thank you so much for all of your calls as we got to discussing linguistic convergence. Or how are you, sir?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good. Do you think you have an accent, Mark?
I do not think I have an accent. I grew up in the Midwest. I've always thought I just had a neutral, regular, accent.
Right.
But I went to school. I moved from my smaller town up to Chicago, and I went to school up there. And everybody thought I was like from the South or like from rural area. And it really caught me off guard because I was like, I talk the same as you. And I don't know, it was just like a funny thing. And they'd even have me pronounce certain words.
Really?
Yeah, like milk was one. They were like, you say milk weird. Say milk. Milk? Is that how you say it?
That's funny.
I thought they were crazy until I was up there for months. And then I came back home on a break. And I saw my family. And I hadn't seen them in a while. And I could almost hear a little bit of a draw in my parents' voice.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm like, wait, is that what they're talking about? Now that my ear is accustomed to being around Chicago people?
Yeah.
Right.
It's interesting.
That is, especially like if it's one word. You say milk funny.
Right. You say milk over and over again.
Why do you say milk like that? 800-455-KCLR if it's something you've experienced and you want to share. Love to hear from you, too, this morning. Talking about linguistic convergence this morning. Basically, that's just when you go spend some time with somebody with an accent and all of a sudden you come back with the accent. And getting some great stories and examples of how that happens. I think it happens to all of us at one time or another. We just didn't know it had such a fancy name. Linguistic convergence. Good morning.
Hi. My dad was from Dexter, Missouri, down in the Boot Hills.
Oh, love Dexter, Missouri. Go ahead.
And he would go down and he would come back with the accent from down there. I've never lived down there at all. I've been born and raised here in mid-Missouri, same as my mom. I would go down for just the weekend with him to go visit family, and I would come back with the accent.
Really?
That's funny.
Yes, and my cousins would always get so irritated, and we went down for a wedding one time, and they all went with us, and they couldn't understand how I picked up on it so fast. But I just do that. When we went to Memphis, Tennessee, I accidentally picked up the accent within just a day of being in Memphis. So I do it all the time.
How long does it typically last? Do you know?
Well, like when we come back from the boot hill, it would take my dad about 2 weeks to lose it. And you'd catch him kind of talking in that way, but I would lose it within like a week.
Now, was it when you would come back with the accent, was it something that you noticed, or did other people have to point it out to you?
Sometimes I would notice it on certain words, and then sometimes I wouldn't even notice it. I had a cousin that went with us one time, and she got so irritated because she'd be like, why are you making fun of these people? I'm not. I don't even know I'm doing it.
That's funny. And it's funny how different people, it affects different ways. And I think we came across this study, and I think that's what they're trying to figure out is, you know, who does it affect? Why does it affect? What are the reasons why some people pick up, you know, an accent and other people don't?
And how fast people do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is very interesting.
Find it interesting. If you'd like to share, call or text this morning, 800-455-KCLR. Thanks so much. Getting some great stories and examples this morning of picking up an accent because you spend time around people, or maybe you do a vacation, or you go away to school and you come back talking like them folks. And it's just fun to hear from you guys this morning. If you want to call or text, 800-455-KCLR. Good morning.
All right. I'm from just outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And when I moved up here, everybody is like, you're not from here, are you? And I'm like, no, how would you guess? When I first went through McDonald's drive-thru, of course, I love sweet tea. I mean, who doesn't?
Right.
But the guy goes, can you repeat your order, please? And I said, I'd like a sweet tea with extra ice. And he said, ma'am, can you pull to the window?
Oh, no.
And I was like, okay. So I pulled up to the window, and he said, I just want everybody in here to hear what you just said.
Stop.
And I said, okay, how come? And then they were like, you just could talk to us all day long.
Oh my
and I was like, okay, well, I can't sit here all day long.
Right.
Where do you live now?
California, Missouri.
Okay.
And love it. And I love you guys.
Oh, thank you.
We love you. Do us a favor. I just want you to say, what's your name?
Valerie.
Say, hey, y'all, this is Valerie, and I love Liz and Scotty in the morning on Clear 99.
All right. Ready?
Yes, ma'am. Go.
Hey, guys. This is Valerie, and I love me some Liz and Scotty in the morning on Clear 99.
Oh, my God, Valerie, we love you.
Yeah.
I love you guys, and y'all have a wonderful day.
Linguistic convergence is the official name of it. And we've been talking about going other places and picking up their accent there. But we just talked to our friend Jeannie Byland, who she grew up here, but her mom was from Alabama. By the way, we're going to talk more with Jeannie a little bit later this morning because Polar Plunge is coming up this weekend. But hers was a little different. She didn't live in Alabama, but her mom was from Alabama and moved up here. And Jeannie but she always kept her accent. And so Jeannie kind of got it from her mom, even though they were still here in mid-Missouri.
Yeah.
Which is just sort of interesting. That's kind of why this study that we came across, they're trying to figure out exactly how this works. And that's kind of a different thing because she didn't go anywhere, but she still got her mom's accent.
She was just raised with it all of her life, which is really cute because now she's got like a little mix between a Missouri and Alabama accent.
And it's just sweet.
It's perfect.
Good morning.
Hi. I just wanted to share a quick story with you. I was about 13 years old, and I went to my grandparents who lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I went up there, and I was about 13 years old, and I spent the night with some girlfriends up there. And they told me I had a Missourian accent. And I was like, well, what is that?
Right?
Because I don't know. I talk just like you do, so I don't know what that is. But I just thought that was really strange that I was just a few states away, and they were like, well, you have a Missourian accent. I'm like, well, how do you even know what a Missourian accent is? And they're like, you know? So I thought that was really strange.
That's what I found weird when somebody said the other day about they loved my Cape Girardeau accent. I'm like, it's 3.5 hours away. I'm like, can we have an accent?
Right. I don't know. It's really strange.
Good morning. I just wanted to talk to you about the Missouri accent.
Okay.
It's not really an accent. It's a Missouri twang.
I have
That's a
heard
good
that
way of
before.
putting it.
Yeah. What do you think the scientist would say is the difference between an accent and a twang?
I don't know. Us Missourians we're a special breed all on our own.
I think that's right. Are you twanging or are you accenting?
Good morning, Scotty. Hi, Liz. I've been wanting to call you guys forever. Well, St. Louis is only a couple of hours away, and you can always tell a St. Louis person by the way they say farty far, Carter, and Warsh.
Yeah.
And Abigail's dad is from Little Rock, and so when we hit Branson, that accent comes out, and he hasn't lived in Little Rock for over 30 years. So.
Oh.
I've got Little Rock family, too, and it's very distinctive. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, he's totally no accent at all, every other day of the year. But, man, Thanksgiving hits, and we head to Arkansas, and all of a sudden he's talking like this. The y'alls are coming out, and, yeah. So, anyway. All right, well, I just wanted to call and tell you those little stories and say how much I love you guys, and Liz, we'll see you at Shakespeare's or somewhere,
Exactly. We'll grab a slice together.
I know, that would be awesome. Yeah, and I can go all fangirl and embarrass my kids, but that's okay. That's what moms are for, right?
That's
right.
Exactly.
You'll learn, and it's really fun to embarrass daughters, too, by the way, so... Yeah.
Well, I love that. Well, tell the girls I said hi, too.
I will. I think they're almost as excited about you having a girl as your mom was.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a great day. Be careful if you have to get out and drive in the snow.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Good morning. It's me, Boone County, born and raised.
Hi, Boone County.
When I was young, we went to a youth conference in Iowa, and we noticed people kept peeking around the corners and looking at us funny. And finally, we figured out they were laughing at us because we said y'all.
Right.
And I said, what is the big deal about y'all? It's not like we're from the Boot Hill where we say wins and youans. They still thought we were Southerners. So.
Oh, man.
Good morning, Clear 99.
Hey, good morning, Scotty.
Morning.
Hey, talking about accents, my stepboys grew up in Tennessee, and there is nothing cuter than 2, 3, 4, 5-year-olds talking with a Southern accent. And they were always saying, I'm fixing to go here, I'm fixing to do this, or I'm fixing to do that. It was absolutely darling, and they still say it as they're older. But you know what I love the most? There's a guy I work with, and he came in, he's a traveling nurse, and I said something. I said, hey, are you new here? And he goes, yes, ma'am. And I said, you're from the South, aren't you? They always say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir. I love it. Love it, love it.
Yep. I get in trouble for saying yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. People think I'm trying to make them feel old. And I was like, no, I used to get bipped in the back of the head if I didn't say it.
Exactly. That's our son, too. It's the same thing. He'd always say his mama would smack him on the back of the head. None of this yeah or huh or anything like that. So anyway, I love it. I think it's beautiful. Have a great day, guys.
And by the way, that Valerie from Chattanooga, she was awarded the Liz and Scotty Caller of the Week, which we've just started. We've got these cool new Liz and Scotty coffee cups, and we've decided, you know what, we're just going to pick a listener, a caller, or a texter that says something that's really funny or uplifting each week, which was tough because there's always so many.
Yeah.
But give them a coffee cup, and so we gave one to Valerie. You sent her a text message. She was very excited.
Oh, my gosh, yes. She was so excited. She texted back. She's like, I'm literally in tears. That's amazingly kind. And she said, I'd love to meet you guys. I had a text message this morning from a worker at a local body shop in California letting me know that I was famous. She said she knew immediately who that voice was. I'm so glad I made you guys smile. My parents raised me to always present yourself as a kind person. You never know whose life you will change by that kindness.
So nice.
Yeah.
And just an example of the way you guys, when you make great phone calls like that we put together these little entry things for like the ACM, the CMAs. And when you guys are so good like that makes us look good. That's why we end up getting nominated for these things. So it's just kind of a way to say thank you. Thank you guys so much for all that you do to participate with us here on Liz and Scotty in the Morning. And thanks for going out of your way to find Liz and Scotty's Poddy.
Yeah, we are available wherever you get podcasts. So download us on Apple, Google, Spotify, or you can just find us at clear99.com.
Yeah, just look for Clear 99 on demand and subscribe that way, and you can keep up with the silliness of Liz and Scotty's Poddy, and Liz and Scotty on the radio, too, just as a reminder, in case you only listen to the podcast. We're on the radio each morning about 5:30 to 10 on today's best country, Clear 99.
It's a Clear Country Morning.
Appreciate you getting started with Clear 99 this morning. So good to be back in our comfortable studio chairs here. And by the way, I wasn't sure if I should say anything or not. I received another honor yesterday. I was chosen to help the flight attendants in case there was an emergency. I don't know if they just sensed something in my character that I could be one of those people, that I was destined for heroism, or it could be that I was just sitting in row 13. But they asked if I would help, and I said absolutely. And they needed a verbal commitment. I had to verbally say, yes, I am prepared to help you in case of emergency.
Did you read your safety pamphlet?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I took my charge seriously.
I knew I was safe. You were sitting right behind me, so I'm just turn around.
I think it's fair to say that everyone on the plane felt safe.
It's a Clear Country Morning.